everyone, it's editor Amy here. Shéa and I are still on vacation. I swear we will be back real soon. It's almost September. We'll be back. I promise. Probably. Anyway, we are hard at work behind the scenes doing all sorts of fun author interviews, and I am super excited for what we've got coming up in September. But today I'm once again pulling from the Wayback Machine for some of our 2025 episodes. Today we're headed back to episode 3 with Tara West and discuss her books, Sugar, Spice, and a Magical Midlife, as well as her book called Fuck Off, I'm 50. I haven't done anything to these original episodes other than add our intro and outro music and our branded transition images, so you can enjoy the early graphics, sound, and editing. So go ahead and get yourself a lemon drop and settle in for an interview with Tara West. Welcome to Cliffhangers and Cocktails podcast with Amy Sissel and Shéa McLeod, USA Today best-selling authors of paranormal women's fiction, among other things. This podcast is brought to you by the Caftan Coven.
Woohoo! Today is our 3rd episode of the podcast. Woo! And we are going to be talking to USA Today best-selling author Tara West, who's a good friend of mine, and she's freaking hilarious. We'll also be talking about a special magical drink, some other witchy things, and general shenanigans. So let's get to it.
Alrighty. I love a shenanigan.
I do love a shenanigan. So as usual, we are going to start with our affirmation, which I just basically Googled strong woman affirmations.
Nice.
Yeah. And I came up with this and I love it. I am enough, just as I am.
That is so great. I actually, I have a mirror. You can't see it because I actually have a background. And on it, it just says, I am enough. And that's my mantra for 2025 as I move through this crazy year. So,
yeah, because so many times we're like, oh, yeah, you be a badass, be a boss bitch, be a this, be a that. And it's like, you know what? You are enough if all you can do today is take a nap. You are enough just as you are. So that's that's how you survive, that's how you thrive, and that's how you're a badass, just by being yourself.
Aw. It was directed exactly at me, but it's also for all of you out there.
Indeed, it was absolutely directed at you and myself and all you fabulous people listening.
Awesome. So this episode, we're going to talk a little bit about the full moon in February. Okay, I don't remember when this episode is going to come out, but it is right before the full moon, I think.
Yes, I believe so.
We do record ahead like most podcasts.
We do. That is the secret sauce of podcasting. We record ahead.
Yes. And so the full moon in February is called the snow moon. And that is, again, kind of bouncing off where we were with the wolf moon in January. We're still in a time of spiritual reset. Things are not, it's still winter. It is still winter.
Yeah, winter is definitely come.
It is, yeah, we're right there.
It's right
winter.
Here.
Winter.
I mean, I was just looking, I have a friend down in New Orleans and I was looking at the snow. I'm like, what is going on? We're in the upside down. That's what we are.
In the upside down. But it is a really good time to, instead of kind of just dwelling on the inside and thinking about all the things that you want to change and grow in this year, now is the time to start shaking that old stuff off and really kind of bringing in the new things. Do some emotional cleansing, some spiritual cleansing. So because the snow moon really represents renewal and rejuvenation and starting to get that energy back. In some places, the earth is starting to warm up a little bit. I saw daffodils poking up a couple days ago, and that's pretty exciing. In the Pacific Northwest, we tend to have flowers a little bit earlier than, say, the Midwest, for example. But we're moving towards spring. It's not that far away now, and we're having a turning point in the cycle. We're shedding our old habits that we've meditated on in January. We're embracing those new things that we want going forward into this year. And we're just aligning our intentions. One of the things that I realized once I was working with a coach about how I work over the year and over the month and my work cycles is they're very much like very cyclical.
Oh yeah.
And once I recognized how cyclical my energy was, and this isn't
Hmm.
about the moon times for lady people,
Oh
uh,
no.
post the moon
That's
time.
that's a whole nother ball of wax right
That's a
there.
different cycle. That's not the cycle I'm talking about. I just realized how cyclical my work was, both
Oh, for sure.
annually and during the month, and where my energy was.
Hmm.
And I think it's really important for everyone to look at how, when they're the most productive, when they feel the best emotionally, physically, whatever. And I bet if you track it for a couple of months, you'll find in most cases that you are lining up with a pattern, and maybe you can connect it to where the moon is in the cycle. Maybe that's not quite how your pattern is going to work, but I bet you find one. I bet you
Yeah,
find that.
I always find that, like, for me, I always think I'm going to do all this work in December, and I don't. I never do that much work in December for whatever reason. But then, like, once we get into like mid-January, it's like then all of a sudden my work picks up. And like, so it totally kind of plays into that winter cycle that goes along from solstice onward, where you have the dark time where you're turning inward, you're reflecting, you're sort of maybe manifesting some things. And then as you turn outward, as spring approaches, that's when all those things you've been manifesting kind of start pushing to the surface. And that's another thing that this part of time of year is about the things you've already planted. And there's still time to plant more
Yes,
things.
yes. You don't have to be done planting.
No, plant
You
more
never have to
things.
be done planting.
No.
Even if it's winter, plant some metaphorical house plants. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or like literal ones.
Hmm.
I'm not going to tell you what to plant,
Or
but
if you're like me and you
this
like
out.
kill everything, just plant crystals.
Metaphorical house plants that can be
Yeah.
nurtured in the darkness.
Yes. Mushrooms.
This is also the time of year that I find, because I'm bipolar, so that's another cycle that
Mm.
and this is the time of year when finally, like, I feel like I'm starting to go back on an upward trajectory. And
Okay.
as the light returns and the days get
Hmm.
longer, and it's not even about the temperature, it's
Hmm.
about the light. Just having
Yeah.
a little bit more light, having that day length, really starts to push me up again in my cycle is like I don't know, twice a year up
Hmm.
and down kind of situation.
Yeah.
It's weird, but we
And
can
I
talk about that some other time if we want to talk about mental illness.
that
Um,
would be a very interesting topic. Yeah, because I know a lot of people who deal with that, either themselves or people that they love. So,
mhm. I think it would be a very interesting thing to talk about how writing is impacted by mental illness and
yeah, it would be.
um, write that down.
Okay, I don't have any, we don't have a fancy PA, so I'm gonna be the PA and I'm gonna be like podcast topic.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
I'm
writing
still trying to hire
and
the 12-year-old.
hey, I got my first job basically when I was 12. I'm
Me
pretty
too.
sure it was vaguely illegal, but
I want to talk a little bit more about like the earth warming up and the
yeah.
smoke
Okay,
and
yes.
because
Let's do
it
it.
reminds us of how interconnected we are with nature
Hmm.
and the earth, which is what
Yes.
farms use, the dirt and stuff.
Yeah, because
You
stuff
think I hadn't
stuff
grown up in
stuff
a
grows
farming
in
community?
dirt.
I did. I really did.
There's a farmer. He'd be rolling in his grave right
I mean, my grandpa was a farmer. I grew up in a farming community. I've spent a lot of time on farms.
now. That's hilarious. Yes, stuff grows in dirt.
That is it. Um, so I really want to continue on with the snow moon stuff, but I'm really struggling now because all the stuff grows in dirt. So this is just the time. It's the stillness still of winter. The light is coming back. The earth is
Hmm.
warming up. We're connected with nature, and now is the time when a lot of people really begin to work again outside with the nature and have those spiritual traditions that
Mm-hmm.
align with the warming up of the earth. Or if you're in the southern hemisphere, this is just opposite day. Sorry,
Yeah.
your earth is getting cold now, I guess.
Sorry about that. I want to say my bad, but it's not my fault.
No, no, we didn't make it that way.
Yeah.
But really, I think I need a Southern Hemisphere consultant who just can listen to the podcast and write notes. It's like, these people are Northern Hemisphere lunatics.
Don't listen to them. Or like, if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, listen to this episode in like August or something.
Yeah.
No, that's not right.
Yeah, it is.
It is right. Okay.
6 months from February is August.
Okay, yeah. Oh my gosh, I mathed. Oh
You
wow.
did
That is
accidentally.
stunning. I accidentally mathed. Okay.
All right, yeah. This is
Woo!
kind of a silly episode
It
already.
is. I think I
Um,
blame the cocktail, which we will get to later.
I have only had like 2 sips of mine, so I don't
Oh,
know what I'm gonna
okay,
blame.
I've sucked down half this bish. So
Anyway, I'm gonna wrap up our moon stuff here. The
sorry.
moon,
It's
moon.
yes, I'm being very silly. But yes, let's wrap
I'm
up our moon stuff.
so serious right now. So the full moon in February, the snow moon, is a really good time to set your intentions. Full moons are a good time to kind of like look at the fullness of life. Things are going to start cycling back to new again,
Mhm.
but it's a good time to kind of look on reflecting on your past, clarifying your intentions as you go forward. Um, it really helps if you write them down or speak them aloud. You don't have to say them to somebody, but just getting that energy out into the universe is fantastic.
Mhm.
And then meditate on them, visualize them, spend some time with your intentions. Don't
Mhm.
just say, like, oh, hey, I'm gonna learn about dirt and plants growing in them and stuff. And then forget about it. Like spend some time thinking about what that means, what you can grow, what
Mhm.
intentions you can plant now that will grow.
Mhm.
And then take action. And
Yes.
okay, we've talked about our religious upbringings,
Mhm.
and I don't remember, I'm gonna probably quote this wrong, but something that just really came to me right now when I was talking about this
Mhm.
is like prayer without action is useless. And I
Yeah.
don't know if that's consistent with every denomination of Christianity that's out there, but that's
Mhm.
something that I think is a really valuable way of looking at stuff.
Yeah.
And whether it's prayer, whether it's manifestation, if you do this, you have to help yourself too.
Right.
You
And
can't just let go and let God if you want changes.
right. Yeah, because that's the kind of thing that I grew up with too, is that like, okay, let's say you have an illness. Yes, pray for that illness, pray that for healing, but don't just pretend it isn't there. Actually take the steps, because there are doctors and medicines. You go and do those things, and that's how get to your healing or whatever, just as an example. And like, I can sit here and visualize all I want that $1 million is going to just drop out of the sky. But my landlord is going to come knocking, wondering where the rent is if that's all I do, sit on the couch.
Can you hand over your vision board?
Oh, I bet he'd love that. Yeah, here's my vision board, and it says I'm going to make $1 million this year. I mean, the whole point of like doing this sort of meditation and speaking what your manifestations to the universe, is that you're open and aware when the universe gives you those inspirations to, oh, go do that thing. Like,
Mhm.
you know, go start a podcast with your friend and be crazy on this podcast. That, I mean, for instance, not that I'm talking about anyone in this podcast, of course.
Oh, I thought you were talking about us.
I was totally talking about us.
Um,
but but yeah, I mean, because you will get those if you've got your mind in that mindset, then you'll get these inspirations to do things, and it will lead you where you need to go.
huh, yeah.
Look at
Um,
me being spiritual.
So, what kind of crystals are good for this time of year? What kind of rocks should we be looking at?
Well, there's quite a few, and amethyst, of course, is a big one because amethyst is the birthstone for February. Yay!
Yeah, two
It's
February birthdays right here in the house.
right here, two amethyst babies. And amethyst is for like healing, for protection of the home. It's also for creativity. Um, Carnelian, which is a really lovely, rich sort of orange color, is for like fertility and vitality. And as we've spoken before, fertility doesn't just mean popping out babies. It can be book babies or, whatever kind of new enterprise that you're birthing.
Something
Green.
just as hard as real babies.
Yeah.
Well, no, I had a real baby.
You had a real baby though, so I don't know.
And I have like 35 book babies, and I gotta tell ya, I would not do 35 real babies.
Oh God, no. Oh man.
Sorry.
Great. Yeah. Oh, right. What was the next one on the list? Okay, Green Adventuring. I love Green Adventuring. It's one of my favorites. It's a really soft, pretty green. I have one here somewhere, but I'm not sure where it is. Anyway,
I will
but
pop a picture of that on the Instagram so that
yes,
all these stones.
yes. It is really soft. It has sort of almost a glow to it, and it's for new growth, zest for life, and good luck. It's a great stone for like manifesting a successful project, manifesting money. Um, Snow quartz is for innocence and clarity. Calcite is for energy and success in new projects. So there's just a lot of stones about new projects, new projects, new projects, new growth, new life, and also clearing out and cleansing and protection. So I just love that. I'm also
I've got my
wearing,
oh, go
sorry.
ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I'm also wearing a pink moonstone. I don't know if you can see that.
That's
This is
so
isn't that
pretty.
pretty? And I love it. Pink stones are always a great heart chakra stone. And this one specifically is for like harmony and creativity and having like strengthening your relationships. So, yeah, and it's pretty. So,
It is so pretty. Well, I've got my little quartet of stones in front of me. I have my
mm,
amethyst. I
hmm,
always have amethyst. I have amethyst in every room in the house. A, because it's my birthstone and I
yeah,
love it.
it's so
And
pretty.
B, because it's really good for like protection
Hmm.
and and all those things that Shéa just recently said about it. Healing, health, protection, blah. And then
Yeah,
I have
stuff.
my quartz. I always have some quartz. I don't have
Hmm.
snow quartz. I have crystal quartz, but they all have like very much clarity and
Yeah.
kind of stuff. I don't
Yeah, they
know.
have similar properties, I think.
And then I have sodalite, which I bought at a crystal shop in the Dalles in
Mhm.
Oregon. And it's a really good stone. It's so pretty too. It's blue with white streaks through
I
it.
love sodalite. So
And
pretty.
it's really good for like creativity and
Hmm.
manifesting and all those kind of things. And then I have my selenite, which is a cleansing stone. It can cleanse
Hmm.
other stones.
Yeah.
And it's a little heart.
Oh, that's so cute. I bought like this big selenite square plate that just like this slab of selenite so that I can like recharge my crystals.
Oh.
Some people will put them out, like for the moon, on a full moon or whatever, but I'm
Mhm.
a bad witch and I always forget. So I'm like, I bought a selenite plate so I can just throw them all on and recharge them.
I only remember to recharge my stones about a third of the time. And then oh shoot, that was 2 days ago. Oopsies.
Oopsies. So
Oopsies.
hence a selenite plate or bowl is really great for that.
Yeah, I should probably get one of those. All my stones are so uncleansed. They need more cleansing. So what are we drinking?
Oh my gosh. Okay,
Because I want
so
to have more of this.
how pretty is this? It's a nice light yellow color. Today we are drinking a cleansing limoncello lemon drop. Mm,
Good.
it is so lemony, and I like mine like on the sweets, a little bit on the sweet side. So it tastes kind of like those lemon head candies a little bit, or they're sweet but sour. I love those. But the whole point of this drink, I think it really goes along with the whole snow moon vibe. It's to cleanse and renew your energy and just sort of like get rid of all like the negative energy and allow the positive vibes to sort of thrive. So it's really good. Like if you've had a long, hard day and you're like, I need to get this negativity out of me, this is, you know, a great like renewing sort of drink. And it's
I
very tasty.
It is so good. I like mine on the much tartar side. So
Yes.
I used about half of the simple syrup that our recipe called for because I want as much lemon to come out, but
Mm.
I like to have a sugar rim to
And
kind of
see,
come.
I'm not, I'm terrible at brimming, as we talked about earlier.
Yes, we
Uh,
had an entire discussion about our various preferences in terms of rimming and skill levels. Um, I'm really proud of how well I did today.
yeah,
It was almost perfect.
it is really gorgeous.
And
Yes.
I
I
will be putting up pictures of my rim on Instagram.
so I'm
You're
not
welcome.
yes. I'm not good at it, and I actually just prefer I'd rather have my sugar just integrated in the drink. Um, so yeah, I definitely used the full simple syrup, and actually I used a little bit more. I think I used about an ounce rather than the recipe calls for 3/4 of an ounce, but I used about an ounce, and I also did about half an ounce of limoncello, which kind of boosts the lemon and also adds a little bit more sweetness. And the recipe doesn't call for it, but I put in a couple of dashes of lavender bitters. You can't really taste them. They just kind of have a little bit of a background there to kind of boost the flavor, I think. And they add a little bit of, you know, lavenders are really calming plants. So I think it goes really well with this.
The
So,
smell of lavender. I want to ask a question, and you may not know
mm,
the answer. This may be
okay.
something we have to have our PA write down to
Mm,
the future. I do not know. But in my head, like, and I don't know if it's because they're both purple, but like lavender and amethyst have such similar properties in my
mm-hmm,
head.
mm,
Like kind of that protection and healing and
mm-hmm.
like a soothing property. I find amethyst to be a very soothing
I
stone.
do too.
And are they like, do they both have similar properties like that, or is this something we need to look up?
I think that we need to maybe do a little bit more research, but they do seem to have some similar properties. And I've noticed, like, when looking at stones, a lot of stones that are in the same color spectrum or tend to be have similar properties. Not always, but they tend to.
Cool.
So, and I often find that sometimes like plants and berries, you know, things like that, they tend to have properties that are associated with their colors as well. Like raspberry is red and apple is red, and they kind of are both associated with love and passion as well as among other things. So
Hmm.
I do think there is some kind of color thing going on, but that would be really interesting to do some research. So this means I have to write this down, right? Okay.
I can write
Top
it down too. I totally
topic uh color color magic.
color
There.
matching.
There we go. Let's look into that. Yeah. Let's hope I remember what the heck I mean when I said that.
I'll
But
help you remember. Our menopausal brains will make quick work of this memory thing.
yes, absolutely. So the ingredients are really quickly 2 ounces of vodka, 3 1/4 ounce of Cointreau or triple sec, half an ounce of limoncello, that's totally optional, an ounce of lemon juice, and 3/4 ounce of simple syrup, more or less to taste, depending on what you like. And you can add a dash of lavender bitters if you like, or some other bitters, or no bitters at all. That's also optional.
I bet
Um,
basil would taste good.
huh?
I think basil and lemon go really well
Oh,
together.
basil would taste. Do they make basil bitters? Of course they make basil bitters. I
But
mean, they
maybe
make
basil simple syrup?
basil simple syrup would be really good. Yeah, like throw some basil, like fresh basil leaves into your like if you're gonna make some homemade simple syrup, you could just when it's still hot, throw some fresh basil leaves in it, kind of like muddle them a little bit, and then let them just sort of sit and strain
Can
them
I
out.
taste it real frequently? Because
Yeah,
otherwise might get overwhelming.
it could get overwhelming, and I think basil can get kind of bitter if you let it sit too long.
Mhm.
And then you have bitters. No, you don't. That's not what bitters are.
I don't think that's how they made, but I would believe you if you swore to me that was true.
So yeah, so basically just put it all in a cocktail shaker with some ice, shake it up, shake it like a Polaroid picture.
Don't make that gesture.
Come on. Oh, shoot. I just realized what I was doing.
You
I
do
will
not have
leave
to
that
mind shaking a cocktail shaker.
with one hand. Okay, so actually I shake it like
That's not better. Okay, you guys, if you're not watching us on YouTube and you want to see how Shéa makes a cocktail, fortunately, a lot of it was below the camera level.
best.
But
Or
this
I don't know, that might make it worse.
it might make it worse. Anyway, you all know how to shake a cocktail.
So just shake that mother like a Polaroid picture, and your fingers freeze off, basically. About 20 seconds. And then strain it into a coupe glass or a martini glass. Like these pretty little things.
Yes, mine is not empty at all. It's just invisible now.
So lemon, let's talk about the magical properties.
Yes.
Lemon is for purification and to banish negative energy. And
Perfect.
who doesn't need that in these times, right?
These fucking times.
Orange, which is in the Quattro or triple sec, is for positivity, and it also attracts wealth. So this is also a good cocktail if you want to do a little bit of abundance work
I'll just
while
be
you're at it.
guzzling that when I go back upstairs. I'm sure
Exactly.
it's delicious on its own.
Just open it up. Sugar, it attracts love, luck, and positive energies. And vodka is for resilience and to purify. So it just all works together really nicely for cleansing, positive energy, and also wealth attraction.
Well, let's move on to
Okay.
our interviewee.
Today we are welcoming to the podcast Tara West, who is a friend of mine. I've known her for more years than we will talk about. But Tara West is a USA Today best-selling fantasy romance author, mom, and wife. And this is just my insert, also crazy bunny lady. A former high school English teacher, Tara is now a full-time writer. She enjoys spending time with her family in the Texas Hill Country, saving abandoned rabbits, advocating for thyroid patients, interacting with her fans, and exercising. Welcome to
Thank
Cliffhangers
you.
and Cocktails.
Thank you.
And as somebody who hasn't known you for a million years plus or
Mhm.
minus, it's so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for having me on your show.
So today we're going to be talking about Tara's book, Sugar Spice and Magical Midlife, which is paranormal women's fiction. This is your first paranormal women's fiction
It is my first.
book. Yeah, because you are well known for reverse harem and fantasy romance and all that, but this is like your first foray. And I have to say, it's funny as hell.
Oh my God, I laughed so much. I just
Thank you.
I love it. I love it. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But first of all, and this is like a really important and key piece of information that we need to know.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Do you have a favorite cocktail or mocktail, or does your character have one?
Okay, well, I rarely drink, to be honest.
But that's what a mocktail is for.
Except tea. Yeah, well, I drink a lot of tea. I drink a lot of pineapple juice. I have a character in my Sugar Spice and Magical Midlife book. They call him Cinnamon Spice Latte because they don't know his name at first. He comes into the bakery and he orders a cinnamon spice latte and 2 dozen cinnamon rolls every single day. And eventually, my main character gets enough nerve to flirt with him, and they've been kind of flirting on and off. But he loves cinnamon spice lattes, so they make him one every morning, and along with 2 dozen cinnamon rolls, which they think he's sharing with the office, but they don't know he's a Sphinx shifter and he's eating them all to himself because he has such a voracious appetite.
I mean, it kind of
I
makes me wish I had that kind of metabolism.
Right?
I we talked
The-
about this book in our one of our live streams on YouTube, and I Shay, tell me if I'm wrong, but didn't we make cinnamon spice lattes for that?
We made something similar. We made like a spiced hot. Yeah, it was basically like a cinnamon spice latte, but with booze in it. Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
So
So
awesome.
I can't remember the exact name of it. We'll have to look it up, but we did do that, and it was really tasty too.
Well, I'll take a decaf coffee with Bailey's every so often.
You and me both.
Oh yeah.
Yum. So tell us about like your author journey when you started writing, how many books you've published, tell us some more about your series and your genres that you write in.
I have been writing since I was a child. I was 10 years old when I started. I had a magazine called the Dirty Toilet Water Book, and I had one subscriber, my best friend, and it was a quarter.
That is
And
amazing. That is amazing.
that was my first foray into writing. And then I went to college, got a degree in English, taught high school English and journalism. And here in Texas, we have this thing called UIL, where kids compete in writing and they get a chance to win scholarships. So I was the UIL coach. And I gave up every weekend and would go with these kids to compete in different writing events. And I always had a romance book with me every time. And I would sit outside the door waiting for them to finish their tests. And I would just read. I would just read. And one day, the kids actually made a video of pretending to be me reading my smut books. And I'm like, I didn't know how they got a hold of it, but they did. They got a hold of one of my books. But they said to me, Miss W, you're always teaching writing. You're always reading. Why don't you write your own book? So I did. It was a YA because, I taught high school, and it was a YA paranormal romance. And I actually had the kids read it while I was writing it and say, oh, kids say this, or they don't say this anymore. And it was fun. And after I quit teaching when my daughter was 2 to stay home with her. And I found a publisher, got it published a trilogy, and that's how I started. That series has since been unpublished because it was middle school cleanish YA, and it's not my brand anymore.
I was gonna say no saggy ball sack jokes.
No. I don't
Although
want kids.
Probably teenagers do make those jokes.
Yes, they
as
do.
For sure.
The mom of a almost teenager, I tell you.
Oh yeah. Well, I was
but not appropriate for
dirty. I was reading some pretty dirty stuff as a teen, but these books that I published were like for 11, 12-year-old girls, and they just weren't, they didn't mix. And they definitely screwed up my also bots. So I had them publish those, but I've published several more books since then.
Yeah, and we met in like 2011
on Kindle boards.
Yes, on the Kindle. Yes,
wow.
Back in the day, and we became like critique partners, and we were both kind of like I was looking for a critique partner, and like I was like, I don't know about this lady, and you were like, I don't know about this lady, but like we started critiquing for each other, and we're like, oh yeah, we actually can both write.
I was like, I had no idea. I mean, it was my first foray into indie publishing. My publisher announced they were closing down their YA line. I had nowhere for that series to go. I ended up making more that first month indie publishing those books than I did the whole year that I was published with my publisher. So
yeah, it's been an
adventure.
Fun.
It was fun. You knew more about which direction you were heading though as a writer. I was still kind of experimenting and playing around with that parody pen name that I had.
Yes.
I was just trying to figure out what I was doing. So.
But you got there, and you've been you've been absolutely killing it since. So, and I'm really excited that you started writing paranormal women's fiction because it's
I
super
am
fun,
too.
and I think your
Yeah.
humor works well with it. Like,
I actually love it. I'm having so much fun to be able to write comedy again. It's so fun just to let loose and write humor,
mhm.
and I'm having so much fun with these characters and with all the crazy characters I'm introducing.
Yeah.
Um, especially Shu. I absolutely love Shu. He's my favorite character in the whole series. He's the fairy godfather who thinks he's stuck in the 1980s still. He wears he wears parachute pants that swish, and they were about to go
I
demon hunting, and they're like, "No, you've got to take off those pants." So,
just love like the whole like Lucy and Ethel vibe, and like
uh-huh.
I mean, you told me you were going to do that, and when I
Yeah,
started reading it, I'm like, oh yeah, that. Oh yes, this is great. I love it.
yeah,
It's so
yeah.
much fun.
It's a nod to all the old sitcoms. I Love Lucy, The Golden Girls,
Mm-hmm.
Bewitched, all the classic sitcoms. I kind of paid tribute to them a little bit here and there in the
Makes
book.
it really fun. It makes it really fun. So, um, tell us. Well, we've been talking about the book Sugar, Spice, and Magical Midlife. And so, tell us a little bit more. We talked about a couple of the characters, but like,
Mhm.
what kind of inspired you to write this book and these characters? And
Pretty much every book I ever write was inspired by a dream because I have very vivid dreams.
mm-hmm,
So I'll have a crazy dream. I'll wake up and I'll say, hey, that would make a good book. And it's
yes,
usually just one scene, like usually a
mm-hmm,
scene somewhere in the middle of the book.
mm-hmm,
And then I'll work around it and I'll add and I'll change and I'll say, well, but this would be better this way. And I just build it up from there. It usually takes me a couple of years of world building in my head
mm-hmm.
before I actually write the book. This book in particular, I think I've been world building it for about 5 to 8 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I remember when you started kind
Mhm,
of talking to me a little bit about it. And I think at that
mhm,
point you'd already kind of had the idea, but we're
mhm.
like, oh, this idea would work well for this genre.
It was going to
And
be cozy mystery. It was going to be cozy mystery. And I can't
yeah,
because I love cozy mystery. I've got a few cozy mystery authors I love to read, but I can't, I have to throw in some spice. I just
yeah.
have to, you
And
know? So,
yeah, and you can't really do a lot of saggy ball sack jokes and fart jokes with
mm-mm,
cozy mystery.
mm-mm.
I mean, I suppose you could, but some people would really get their knickers in a
Yeah,
twist
yeah,
over that.
yeah,
It would
So
be confusing, I think.
yeah.
yeah.
It'd be
And,
confusing.
and, and just for the record, there were no saggy ball sacks in the book. But when she discovers that her shifter boyfriend is over 100 years old, witches age slower in my book,
Mhm.
mythical creatures age even slower, and he's a sphinx shifter. But when she discovers his age, he's a little over 100 years, she's wondering, oh God, does he have saggy balls? Does he have a saggy ball?
Didn't her ex-husband had
Yeah,
had
he
some
had
body
some
stuff
issues.
going on.
Wrinkly. It was wrinkly balls. That was
Wrinkly. Yes,
yeah.
he was wrinkly.
Has some issues. He definitely has some issues.
I knew as soon as I got to that part when I was starting the book that, oh, I'm going to love this because it's
Mhm.
hilarious. It's
Yeah.
not something that I personally would ever write for myself,
Mhm.
but it was really funny.
Thank
It
you.
was very funny. I'm like, oh, okay, yes, this is the Tara West that I know and love. It was so
Yeah.
fun. It was so fun. So what
Can you
in
tell
it?
us a little? Oh,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
you want to fight over who gets to ask the question?
Oh no, you can go.
Okay.
I've been
Um,
yammering on and asking all the questions. I've been hogging the limelight here.
yeah, I want to be fancy too. Like,
Yeah,
why
you
can't
be
I be
fancy. Be
fancy?
fancy. Be fancy. I'll shut
Okay,
up.
asking questions. Can you tell us a little bit more about the setting and like how did is that part of the dream that the setting came to you? Is it someplace that you're very familiar with? Mine are generally speaking. I write mostly in the Pacific Northwest because that's where I live. So I'm just wondering about your setting.
My setting, it took me a while to think of where to originally put the bakery. So I had the bakery in Austin because I live near Austin, and the theme of Austin's theme is keep Austin weird. So I thought that would be a perfect place to hide a bunch of witches. But I grappled with it for a while, and then I went to visit my nephew in New Mexico, and we visited Santa Fe, and I just absolutely fell in love with Santa Fe. And it has a really great art scene there and a cultural scene. And I want my witches to be able to hide in plain sight and nobody to really know that they're witches. Only other witches know when they come across another witch because they have kind of an aura that they put off. But that's where I ended up putting it. And I put my main character, she owns a gluten-free, sugar-free bakery. It's sweetened with forbidden magic. And so I fell in love with Santa Fe, so that's where I put it. But then when her boyfriend gets arrested for a murder he didn't commit, she has to go to the tribunal and prove his innocence. And I thought, well, where do I put that? And like I said, this book has been brewing in my head for 5 to maybe 8 years. And in 2019, I visited Italy, Rome, and I absolutely fell in love with that place. And I thought this would be a great place to put the tribunal. It's ancient witches, goes back centuries. So I ended up putting the tribunal basically in an underground area under the city, that's in a different dimension.
Yeah.
So humans can't see it.
Yeah. I love that because a lot of times when you read witchy stuff, like, and even I personally, but it's like, it tends to be more Celtic or British sort of centered or, you know, Northern European. So it's kind of fun to see a little bit more Southern European, the Italian twist.
Well, especially because I use a lot of mythological creatures from Greek and Roman literature.
Yeah, so it totally works. I love it. So, what inspired you to like write paranormal books? Because pretty much everything you do is like paranormal or fantasy. I know you did have a series that was contemporary, but generally, since I've known you, you've been writing paranormal and fantasy. What drew you to that?
I like to escape. You know, that's the perfect way to escape.
Yeah.
Just this world is mundane and I want to get away. I want something different. I want something unique. And I love to create really out there crazy characters. And this was how I did it. I grew up as the daughter of used car salesman in Las Vegas. So I met a lot of crazy characters growing up. And so my characters also have to be just really out there. And the way to do it is through fantasy and paranormal, especially when you're doing contemporary urban fantasy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because you have some pretty wild villains. Like you've got some.
Well, now you know why.
Yes, I do. You met them all in Vegas.
Yes, I did.
What's the most interesting or unusual research that you've done for a book that you're writing?
Probably would be for my Eternally Yours series. Now, that is very much like my Sugar, Spice, and Magical Midlife. It's paranormal. It's very funny. But the main character, she's 29. So she's still older, but she's not over 40. So that series is actually complete. Book 1 is Divine and Dateless. The most unusual research I did for that was probably for book 5 when I was looking up how long does it take for a body to decompose and can you hold a decomposed body together with duct tape? And I was like, oh my gosh, the FBI are going to come knocking at my door any day.
Okay, but I need to know the answer.
Somewhere.
Can you hold a body together with duct tape? A decomposing body?
Before a certain point, yes. And I wrote this series in like 2015, 2016, so I don't remember, to be honest. I don't remember the characters' names from back then.
I don't either, but I remember very vividly how she passes to the afterlife.
Yes, she electrocuted herself with a blow dryer.
So she ends up in purgatory with horrible hair.
Oh no! Yeah. Oh my God, that is amazing.
And the Grim Reaper who comes to collect her, she thinks he's her blind date. And she's flirting with him and just getting really flirtatious with him. And he's like, come on, we got to go. And she has no idea that he's taking her to heaven. He's taking her to heaven because there was a clerical error. She doesn't belong in heaven. She wasn't that good of a person. But because there was a clerical error, she gets to spend one night in heaven, wakes up, and he's like, oh, I'm here to take you back to purgatory. So in heaven, she could eat all the cheesecake she wanted and not get fat and have sex with whoever she wanted, whatever. It was just a good old party up there. So she's desperate to get back. In order to get back, she has to earn credits in purgatory. And the way to do that is to take the most dangerous jobs. So she becomes a ghoster, basically fighting demons on Earth to earn enough credits to get back in heaven.
It's a fun series, yeah.
That sounds so fun.
She's tempted by the Grim Reaper the whole time. They just have a really great chemistry, really fun chemistry.
Who doesn't love a Reaper, to be honest?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what that says about me or any of us, but yeah.
One of my series that's in process right now, the main love interest is a Reaper. Why not?
So this is a very important question here. If your midlife series was picked up for television, what actor would you want to play your main character and the love interest? Come on, we have to have the main character and the love interest.
Okay, so I think Zoe Deschanel.
Oh, yes.
My main character, Lucy, because she's quirky and she's fun and she's a great comedic character.
Yes.
And I think Pedro Pascal for Ricardo.
Yes.
And I just want to throw in there, I know he's not the main character, but for Shu, the fairy godfather who's stuck in the 80s with the swishy pants, I would give him to Ken Jeong. Oh. Ken Jeong from he does what's the show?
The Masked Singer. Yeah.
He's so funny and quirky, and he would be the perfect fairy godfather.
Oh my gosh, he would be amazing.
I need this to happen.
Yes.
Now.
Who do we talk to? Hello, Netflix? Or
yes. I would absolutely love that.
That's awesome. So we also want to talk really quickly about your book, Fuck Off, I'm 50. Yes. When you put this book out, it was not long before I turned 50, and it was so freaking hilarious. So just tell us a little bit about this book and why you wrote it.
This book was like my birthday present to myself, because I did spend quite a bit of money on the artwork. I guess I could have taken a vacation, but instead I wanted something lasting. I was kind of grappling a little bit with the big 5-0, and I just wanted something that basically that encapsulated how I felt turning 50. Yeah. The whole F off I'm 50 was basically like, okay, I've elevated from queen to goddess status. That means I don't have to take crap from anyone anymore.
Yeah.
Nice.
And there's a lot of that in there. There's a lot of family begging for, handouts, fake friends, I don't care what you think about me. I don't care what you want. F off. I'm 50. I'm done. I'm done putting up with your bullshit. So that was the book. And it's just a comedic book with lots of great fun pictures.
Yes.
And poems. It's just one big long poem about why you can F off.
I love it. It was fun to read. I have a copy myself, and to like give as a gift. And then you made one for like over 50, right?
You made one is just for 50, and one is for 51 to 59. F off, I'm in my 50s.
Okay. We will drop the links to all of Tara's books in the show notes. Yes. And don't forget to like and subscribe and all that jazz that
smash that like button, which is something I said at the first live stream that I said I would never say again.
And now we do it
every time. I feel the need to say it. But so, what are your plans for the rest of the year, as if it hasn't just started? What are the plans for this year, 2025?
Okay, well, I'm pretty
Writing-wise.
busy. I really want to write book 2 in my Sugar Spice Magical Midlife. Book 2 is percolating in my head right now.
Mhm.
I've got a skeletal plot going on, but I have another series that was only supposed to be 5 books. My muse said, nope, it's going to be 6 books.
Your muse has
So
problems. It is unruly.
I have another series, and it's epic fantasy. It's romantasy. The books are very long. They're like 125,000 words a book. And I was supposed to be done this summer with it and then just focus all this year on my new paranormal women's fiction. That didn't turn out as planned. My muse had other ideas. So I'm writing book 6 right now. I'm almost
Wow.
halfway through. I'm writing book 6 in that series. And then I'm going to get back to my Sugar Spice Magical Midlife. It's called Midlife Menace, the series. Get back to book 2, and I will have book 2 out this summer.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Ooh. So, where can people find out more about you?
My Facebook page has 14,000 followers, and it's very busy page. So that's where I'm most active, and also my Facebook group.
Mhm.
I have an Instagram. I have a TikTok. I don't go as often as I should. But really, my page over on Meta
Mhm.
is the best place. It's just Tara West Author.
Okay, cool. We'll also drop those links in the show
Okay.
notes too, so that people can find you. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us today and
Thank
talking about
you.
your book.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. I really do.
And everybody be sure and follow Tara. Check out her books. I am pretty sure you're going to love them as much as we did.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks everybody for joining us. And now back to our regular show. Okay. So that was really awesome. She is a hoot. I love talking to Tara.
It was super fun.
So you definitely want to check out her book and check out go check out all of her website, her socials and all that. And
Links in the show notes.
yes, in the show notes, along with all the other things we talked about, our cocktail recipe and stuff like that. We're also going to put our next deck. So this is actually a tarot deck. It's called the Tarot of Aphrodite.
Oh, how beautiful is that?
Yeah, and I did this originally on Kickstarter. It was a Kickstarter that I backed by the graphic designer is Natasha Fromm, and she's taken a lot of like old artworks and turned them into this really gorgeous tarot. So I do believe though that they are available for purchase, so I'll have to look that up and make sure that those are in the show notes. But I'm just going to, I already sort of did the little shuffling, so I'm going to split the deck here and see what we have. And this is the 4 of coins, and I'm just going to show it here to the YouTube. For those of you not on the YouTube, they have this woman in a lovely purple dress. She's holding a string of beads above a jewelry box. There's a picture of a goddess in the background. She's surrounded by irises, which happen to be my favorite flower. And
I love also purple.
yes, purple. It's all purple, which is very, of course, this is February. This is amethyst is the birthstone, which is purple. So
Violet is the birth flower. Did you know?
I did know, yes.
Another
Violet,
purple.
another purple. So it's all about, this is a very purple month, which may explain some things. So I'm really terrible about remembering what the 4 of coins means. But this is actually the painting is from just looking it up here in the book because this is actually a famous painting. 4 of coins.
And this is how you know that we do not pre-pull the card.
Yeah, definitely not. Okay, so the four of coins is the artist is John William Godward, and the painting is called Threading Beads from 1905. is a really pretty painting. It doesn't definitely has this that era vibe to it, sort of like an Alphonse. How do you say his name? I'm really bad at pronouncing things. So 4 of coins. And I'm totally Googling this because I literally cannot remember. All the coins are always good. They're always good.
So triggered though, like you can get into there and you're like, oh, you're being too selfish with your time and your money, and you're not being generous.
Yes. So upright, saving money, security, conservatism, scarcity, and control. So we're not going to read through the description because they use a different deck, but the 4 of coins ask you to examine your relationship with money. Are you accumulating wealth and investing your money wisely while still enjoying your day-to-day life? Or are you desperately clinging to every coin, afraid to spend your money for fear you do not have enough or could lose it forever? In its most positive state, the 4 of coins suggests that you have created wealth and abundance by maintaining a steady focus on your goals and acting conservatively. You are attentive to your long-term financial security, actively saving money. Okay, this is really boring. But so it also typically accompanies a scarcity mindset, which is really interesting because we've been talking about the abundance mindset, which is exact opposite.
Yeah.
So especially with money and material possessions. So instead of spending your cash and basically having some enjoyment, you're just like stockpiling it and trying to keep it to yourself because you're afraid.
I would like to interject that the other way you can be afraid and have that scarcity mindset with money is if you are worried that you won't have it again, so you're spending it all. Like, I know this talked about saving and stockpiling, but you can exhibit a fear of wealth and accumulation of money by just spending it the second you get it and not taking the time to appreciate what you have.
Right. So it's really 2 sides of the same coin. But
Coin.
So basically this card is urging you to find balance. And it's reminding you that you're putting too much value on money and material possessions, and allowing them to kind of become your life rather than looking to the things that are really valuable in life. The broader lesson of this card is to honor and respect money and wealth, but don't become so attached that you lose sight of the most important things to you: friends, family, happiness, and love. Yeah, so that's a pretty good reminder, I think, of be careful of having a scarcity mindset. Either flip either side of the coin, and be mindful of what's really important in life.
And I think that's so important always, but I think now in particular, we need to really value what is important and hold on to those things that we can, so that even when things seem really awful, we know that we have connection. We have connection with the earth. We have connection with our family, whether chosen family or biological family or both. Actually, at our age, if you're still hanging out with your biological family, you have chosen them, generally speaking.
Generally speaking, yeah.
But just keeping those connections, all the protection that we've talked about today, all the cleansing, I think is so important as we move forward into this year. And just being able to protect yourself and other people the best of your ability.
Yeah. That's how we get through this life, is going to be with what's really important, each other. Yeah. So that was a pretty powerful, a little bit sobering way to end. But we've had a bit of a silly session. So I think ending on a little bit of a more somber note is actually not a bad thing, because that's a really, I think, important lesson that we can take into this year. So so just to recap, we're going to put all of the recipe, we're going to put Tara's links if I can find the link to this deck, which is really, really gorgeous. I will put it in the links as well. And be sure to smash that like button. Okay, yeah.
We're just gonna say it every time, aren't we? It's
100%.
ironic until it becomes not ironic anymore.
Fine, like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
Please, if you enjoy this, share this episode with somebody else you know would enjoy it.
Yes.
Rate us. We love to see ratings. We've got some on Spotify already, which is great.
I haven't looked recently. Ooh, I'm excited.
And we really appreciate you.
We really do. Thank you for joining us on Cliffhangers and Cocktails.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. See you next time.